Hey folks, and welcome to the latest installment of Dave's Impressions. This time around, Far Cry 4. Now this is the first of the modern style of Far Cry games I have played. These impressions were taken from playing the game for around 3 hours. Enjoy! Ever since the positive reception to Vaas in Far Cry 3, it seems one of the defining traits of the Far Cry series has been a charismatic villain. In Far Cry 4, we have Pagan Min, meeting him after his military executes most of the people on the bus we were traveling into the country with before taking us back to his palace. It's a great introduction. I ended up liking him despite how violent and psychotic he is, and I enjoyed the short conversations he would have with AJ over the radio as I played. The goal of AJ being in Kyrat in the first place is to fulfill his mother's dying wish. Taking her ashes to Lakshmana creates a personal and believable motivation that I was on board with. It just seems that to fulfill this wish, you need to fight to liberate the entire country. Funny how that works. I loved the choice to place Far Cry 4 in the Himalayas, not just because I love mountains, forests, and valleys, but because of the verticality. The first upgrade I picked up is a grappling hook. This allowed me to scale cliff sides at anchor points, if I couldn't hop my way up from rock to rock. What I love about this is when approaching an enemy location, I could always get to higher ground. It's a great way to scope out an approach. The one downside to all this verticality is birds, specifically eagles. Watch yourself. They will wreck you if you give them half a chance. With worthwhile motivation, a charismatic antagonist, and a beautiful location, why does Far Cry 4 feel so stiff to play? I always felt like I was wrestling the controls, and not just while driving. Movement is slow, and even shooting felt clunky. The only moments I think I enjoyed were hang gliding, because you just aim at where you want to go and let gravity take its course. Okay, there was one aspect of the shooting I enjoyed. My favorite moment in the game was an early quest in which wolves have been harassing livestock. You were hunting the hunters armed with a bow and arrow. I came across the first wolf feeding. Crouching in the grass, I sneaked up to where I thought it was safe to take a shot. I pulled back my bow, let loose, and the wolf fell. The rest of the pack didn't meet their end as smoothly, but I look back fondly on that first kill. Stealth might be the game's greatest mechanical asset. There's a sequence where you rescue some hostages and then go and liberate an outpost. I was able to free the hostages and clear the camp without being spotted, sneaking around and taking opportunities as they presented themselves. Same with the outpost, although I can't take credit for that. I just freed an elephant. It did the work. One of the joys of the open world game is that of emergent gameplay, that while traveling and exploring, the player comes across moments that create stories that are more powerful than anything the game has planned. The trick is that obviously these moments are planned. The elements have been coded into the system, but it's how these systems come together that creates the magic. What's of an even greater interest to me is how the designer set a path of breadcrumbs, so many of the more interesting parts of the game are discovered by the player, thinking they stumbled across them. I thought of this a lot during my approach to the radio tower, how there was a fight between the rebels and Pagan's men which led me to notice the accident that gave me the grappling hook. After liberating the tower, I took a zipline down to a hut with a radio asking for help. Now this is a singular experience. I never came across a series of breadcrumbs like this again, but that doesn't mean they aren't there. I will say that any chance to experience moving from one mini objective to the next is often interrupted by running out of bag space and having to fast travel back to town. The chance for emergent gameplay is being interrupted by the game's systems. At some point you likely have enough bag space to be able to explore and discover these moments to your heart's content, but I have a feeling the game might be close to finished by that point. Thanks for watching. So, will I be continuing my play of Far Cry 4? Sadly, I don't think that will be the case, for two of the reasons I listed back in the scripted part. The biggest reason is that part of the game loop is going back to town and selling off everything once you've filled your bag, and that's just not enjoyable to me. And I just am not on board with an interruption to the flow of gameplay and the emergent style of an open world game being weaved into the game loop. Secondly is, I did mention that the controls I felt were a bit clunky, a bit stiff. Aside from the stealth segments, it just wasn't enjoyable to control AJ, and those weren't enjoyable because of the movement. They were enjoyable because of the tension associated with getting caught and having to change plans if I did get caught. Which is a shame because, to enjoy the location of the game, to enjoy the antagonist of the game, and to enjoy the main character's motivations, all three of those, that's quite rare. So, sadly, just because the game and the game loop weren't enjoyable, arguably the gameplay is the most important aspect of a video game, and because that wasn't there, well, I'm going to leave Far Cry 4 be. So, as always, if you'd like to help the channel and show me some love, please like the video. Please comment below. Tell me what you think about Far Cry 4. Tell me what you think of this video. Please let me know about anything you think I can improve. Share it with your friends if you like the video. I'd really like to get some more views happening on these. And, of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, I hope you're all having a wonderful day.